Lisa Espinosa, spiritual career coach, modern day priestess, author. I'm so excited to be here with you for our final novena of 2020. So if it's your first time connecting with me, I'm so thrilled that you are joining us. No worries if you're like, what is she talking about, novena? I'm going to explain it. And for those of you who have walked these 9-day journeys with me before, I'm so excited that you are joining me again. Hello, Karen. And the theme of this 9-day journey is being the light of the world, right? It's because you are the light of the world. And yet that light can be buried under busyness, under fears, under anxieties, under just distraction. So it's really necessary for us to take time to reconnect with our soul, to reconnect with our light, and allow that light to dissolve everything that's unnecessary, everything that isn't ours, so that we could be these even brighter beacons of light. So hello, Miriam. Hello, Jan. I'm so glad you're all here. And I just keep seeing this image of like Christmas lights or just like these string of lights that together, because we know when we gather together, it's just so much a circle here. And I'm sorry, I'm distracted because my phone just suddenly turned orange. I don't know what that means, but hopefully you can see me. So let's go ahead and do our little prayer opening to ensure that, okay, it turned green, sorry, we're good. Angels surround our transmission. So to open up the space and be in a really good heart place. Hello, everyone. So good to see you. So let's go ahead and take some nice cleansing breaths. And just letting yourself settle into your body, settle into your heart, settle into this space as we come here to this evening, right? This day 1 of our 9-day journey. Trusting that you're exactly where you're meant to be, whether you're watching this live or you're watching this on the replay. We're all here together. And as we connect with our heart, let's connect with our hips and our pelvis, with our knees, ankles, and feet. Connecting with the earth. So feeling that beautiful earth connection. And as you connect to the earth, visualize those beautiful roots of light going down your legs and out the bottoms of your feet, all the way to the heart of the earth. All the way to the heart of the earth. And as your roots connect in this way, we just say this prayer together, this intention together, to release the unnecessary. So part of the intention with this novena is to really walk with grace as we come to the end of this year, which has been so different in many ways, right? So that prayer, that intention of whatever is unnecessary, whatever you're holding that you might not even be conscious of, that your soul is saying, you don't need to carry this. You don't need to take this to 2021. It is done. That it be released, that it be dissolved, and that you get to keep all the lessons, all the blessings, all the gifts, but you're releasing all that doesn't serve you. And as we do that, let's all of us envision that all these roots are connecting with each other. So all of you who are here live, hello Donna, all of you who are watching the replay and who will ever watch the replay whenever, it might be a year from now. So all of our roots are connecting, creating this beautiful container that will allow us to release more and receive more. And we're connecting our roots in a beautiful, empowered way. There's no codependency. There's no rescuing. It's just this beautiful, safe, sacred space that we're creating together. And I'm just going to say that this container, that we're creating this container for this 9-day journey. Right, so for this whole 9-day journey, there's this beautiful sacred container illuminated by the divine grace of each of your souls and of the divine. And as we breathe all of that in, letting all of that move, all that beautiful energy moving up our legs, up our back. And as you receive this, I'm just seeing this and feeling this, like this beautiful inner clearing that's happening as you breathe all of this in, this golden light, all the way to the crown of your head. And landing in your heart as we bring the palms of our hands over our heart center. And I just I invite all of your beautiful souls to be present, to be in charge of your own journey. Your soul knows exactly what you need. I'm here just creating the sacred space, facilitating it, but your soul is in charge. You are sovereign. Your soul knows what you're ready to heal. Even if your ego, even if different parts of you are scared, your soul knows. So we invite your soul to be here present. And we invite all of your beautiful team of spiritual allies who love you unconditionally from all spiritual traditions. So whoever that might be, your guardian angels, Mother Mary, I have beautiful meditating Jesus behind me, right? Ascended Master Jesus. It might be Buddha, it might be Krishna, it might be Kuan Yin, Green Tara, or just other beings of light that I haven't named or that you might not even be fully consciously aware of, but we open to those guides again that are aligned with unconditional love. Unconditional love. They have no agenda other than to support your highest good, to bless your legacy of love that you have been creating for lifetimes. And we know that this lifetime is very important. All lifetimes are important, but there's something about this lifetime that allows us to heal and clear across generations, across timelines. And if none of that makes sense to you, that's okay. Just take in, remember, your soul is in charge, so your soul will highlight, will illuminate any teaching that comes forth that you're meant to pay attention to. And whatever isn't meant for you to hold right now, it'll just fall off. Just trust that process. But here you are with your soul, surrounded with your beautiful spiritual guides. And I invoke this beautiful circle, this golden circle around everyone here that is live, everyone who will watch the replay at any point in time. And we intend that this 9-day journey is filled with grace, that it blesses you on all levels, that it helps you dissolve any blocks that you have to knowing yourself as light, to knowing yourself as the light of the world, to knowing how loved you are and how blessed you are, and that you are a blessing. And that by your presence, when you say yes to embodying that light, you remind others that they are that light as well. Just by your presence. You don't need to say anything. Although you might, if your soul guides you to. So all of that and so much more is woven into this 9-day journey as we bring the palms of our hands together. And we open day 1 and the 8 remaining days. We open this novena with a namaste, namaste, everyone. Thank you. Hi, Lynn. Good to see you. So, what's going to happen? Well, if you've been hearing me talk about the novena, every novena, so let me back up a little bit. If this is your first time, I am the author of the book, Answering Your Inner Calling. The focus of all of my work really is to help my clients, my students, everybody who connects with my work to connect with their own beautiful soul, with their true essence, with their heart's guidance, so that you can share your medicine. Most of my conversations are around career, but for some of you, if you're retired or if you're kind of done with that part of your life, it's to share your soul's medicines really as the presence that you are in the world. And I'm currently writing my second book, Birthing the Priestess Within. And this practice, hello Karen, of the novena comes from my book, Birthing the Priestess Within. And it is a 9-day journey. I know novenas are often connected with, associated with Christianity. And this, there's a lot of parts of Christian mysticism that really speak to me, a lot of ascended masters that really speak to me, but also a lot of spiritual traditions that I connect with. So if you're thinking novena rosary, this is a little, or in a lot of ways, a lot different, although I'm do this journey together, we sit for 9 minutes because it's so powerful to do the 9 minutes, and to do it together is just everything is magnified. And when we sit for the 9 minutes, what we do, and I have the cover of my book here, is you visualize that infinity symbol underneath you, and you visualize sitting on the infinity point. And what's so important about the infinity symbol is that it represents that time outside of time, right? It represents that ceremonial space where instantaneous healing, where we're not limited by what our intellect believes is possible. And there's so much more to say about that point, but that's one thing I want you to understand. When we sit on that infinity point, because we're learning to enter timelessness. We're learning to be in that place where we know nothing, and yet we can access all wisdom. All of us have access to that. I'm remembering this beautiful song right now. It just came to me. It's a mantra. Oh, I'm gonna totally forget. I'm pretty sure the CD is called The Music Within, and I forgot the name of the song, but one of the lines is, I know that the unknown is known to me. I've always loved that. It's like the first line. It's like, I know that the unknown is known to me. That's what this is speaking to. When we sit in silence, that's what we're remembering, that everything that we think we don't know, every solution to any problem we think we have, any healing to any trauma or any pain or anything we're dealing with, all of that is available to us. It is part of our divine inheritance. And part of the human journey is that we forget all of that. And we forget that we have access to our source. And so we're on this journey of remembering, and that's what we do together. And I hadn't, hey Jill, yes, learning to access timelessness, yes. I've said this several times. I thought I was done with this 2020 novenas. I had them planned for 2021, and then it was really like, no, this invitation, which of, like I said earlier, walking to the finish line of 2020 with as much presence and as much grace, as healing as much as we can this year. And it's not about hustling or efforting or like, oh my gosh, I need to do all this work these last few days of 2020. No, it's actually the opposite. It's really taking time to be in stillness, to listen, are there any loose ends, right? Are there any loose ends that your soul is saying, hey, you've gone through this initiation this year, or maybe you've been going through it for years or even lifetimes, and you've done so much, you've cleared so much, you've healed so much, and yet there's, sorry, one of my daughters is texting me as I do this, and yet, so I'm just sending her love and blessings, and yet there's just some loose ends or like a final step that will really allow you to integrate this initiation. So what do I mean by an initiation is, often a challenging experience, something you've gone through that has really, sometimes quite often, broken our heart. And now we're in that place of mending that. And it's not that our heart, it's such a paradox, right? Because on the one hand, our heart is infinite and can't be broken. It's just infinite and it's infinite love. And on the other hand, we're on the human journey. And of course, it gets bruised up and beat up and all sorts of things, right? So it's that process of shining the light through the wounds and the broken places and the disappointments. And maybe if there's regrets that you have or resentments, anything like that. It's like the initiation is helping us, teaching us how to clear all that could block our light from ourselves and from others. So I'm, again, with this be the light of the world, it's this affirmation, this recommitment, this remembering that you are the light of the world, that you've always been the light of the world, and that you're ready to reveal that even more. Like revealing. Remembering this other song we did one of the years in the Guadalupe gathering where you were just singing to the Divine Mother, reveal thyself. It's like reveal thyself, reveal thyself, reveal thyself. And of course, as we sing that to the Divine Mother, what we're doing is we're singing that to ourselves, right? Like, reveal myself. So this 9-day journey is about revealing yourself. It's about being naked, and not necessarily literal, but like naked in an even more vulnerable way, that it's like, this is me, this is who I am, this is what I'm here to share, this is my medicine. It's the big reveal. And I know if you're watching this, you've already been so brave and so courageous and have been, taken some vulnerable steps. And probably in 2020, you have done that, I'm sure, to keep moving forward. And, the thing with the divine and our soul is always asking for more, not because your soul is greedy or is never satisfied, is because your soul sees you exactly as you are. Your soul's like so in love with you and knows just how glorious you are. So your soul will never let you settle, right? And that's the beautiful thing about ascended masters like Jesus, like Mother Mary, like Mary Magdalene, like Green Tara, like Kuan Yin, that they hold the bar high for us. They hold the bar high because they know that we are masters within. They know that, so they hold the bar high even as they're incredibly compassionate with us. And they let us, we get to have our feelings and all of that. And yet our soul and these beautiful guides always remind us, and we are the light of the world. And all of the wounds, all of the trauma, all of the initiations, all of that are part of your gifts to the world, right? Are the places through where more grace can flow through. If we're courageous enough to not run away from that. Welcome, Teresa. So, saying yes to this 9-day journey, I have so many things going on right now, not bad things, just a lot of end of the year finishing and 2021 planning, that I was really like, well, I'm gonna do this novena, but I'm gonna have my tea, which I didn't even share my tea. I hope you have your cup. I'm gonna invite you to, I love tea. I'm going on a total tangent here, but let me finish my earlier thought. My what I was saying before. What I was gonna say was that I agreed to this and I said, I'm not gonna plan it. I'm gonna sit. I mean, my whole life prepares me for this, right? This is a teaching for you too. Your life, your initiations are preparing you for your leadership. So I don't mean like I'm not taking this seriously, like I'm just like, oh, whatever. But I also knew that I didn't have time to sit and like map out the 9 days. So it was like, I'm going to sit, I'm going to have tea, and I'm going to open my mouth. And we're going to sit in silence. So whatever's flowing through is what's meant to flow through. But back to the tea, please, I would encourage you, I wish I could see you, but to bring your teacups with your favorite tea. It is nighttime. I think my neighbors officially think I've started like some sort of show in my sunroom, because usually I do these during the day, and doing it at night, like they can see everything. So hello everyone. But anyway, and I don't drink coffee. I love tea. Today I brought my Egyptian licorice. Ooh, you have peppermint, so beautiful. Sadly I can't do caffeine, so I can't do even green tea. So all my teas are herbal. But anyway, Egyptian licorice, peppermint is in the house. Anybody else, if you want to share what tea you have, awesome. And the thing with the tea, this is one thing, and I used to say, for those of you who used to come to my meditation classes at Beverly Yoga, I would often make this comparison of how when we're, and this is like when we're sitting on the infinity point, you know, when you put the tea bag, and I should have brought a non-wet tea bag as a visual, before, oh, Jill has decaf green tea, nice. I almost got one of those today. Before, you know, when you take the tea, and you know, my family's from Mexico, and growing up, I mean, we didn't even use tea bags. It was all loose leaf teas, and for any ailment, it was straight, you know, take this tea or that tea, or té de hierba buena, or té de manzanilla, or you know, all these different teas. But the thing with the teas, just like with the teas in the bags, when they're not steeped, the medicinal properties, for the most part, aren't released, right? There's something about steeping in the hot water that then really releases the medicine of the tea. So I often thought, when I was teaching meditation, I would get this image of like, oh my gosh, it's like we're steeping, right? We're steeping so that our medicine can be released. So that's what happens as we're together. It's like you're all these beautiful tea bags, but the cool thing about you is that there's no other tea like you. You're like the one and only tea of that, right? It's like, so, but we steep, right? We let ourselves steep. And to do it, what's coming through right now is sometimes we resist the steeping. So our soul finds all sorts of creative ways to force us to be in that accelerated place so that our medicine can be released, right? We've all experienced that, right? Whether it's, you know, or maybe our soul is guiding us to slow down, but we ignore it, and then suddenly we fall, or we get sick, or, you know, or we know we're in a job and we hate it and we really think we need to leave it, but we're scared of leaving, and then suddenly we get laid off, right? It's like there's all these ways that our soul finds to get us to where we need to go. What's really exciting is once we start to commit to this path, and we don't have to wait for those things. Like we can consciously say, hey, you know what? I'm going to, for 9 days, go on this journey and willingly and consciously and in a group, how exciting is this? Come together and surrender to my beautiful soul, right? Remember, surrender doesn't mean giving up. Surrender is not passive. Surrender takes courage. It is not for the faint of heart. Don't, please, please, please understand that. Our society misunderstands what surrender means. Like we think surrender means giving up or being weak. Divine surrender is one of the hardest things that you can do. It's true spiritual maturity. So to say yes to an invitation like this and say, I'm going to surrender, I'm going to sit for 9 minutes, and I'm going to steep in my soul's light. And that's what we're going to do. So that's the plan. So, before I do the little inner journey and we sit for 9 minutes, let me just kind of see if there's anything else that wants to come forward before we start. So right away, as soon as I asked that, our inner child, our inner children showed up. And the last novena was all about your inner child. And if you haven't watched that one, I highly encourage you when you feel called to do that. So I just welcome all of your beautiful inner children and all, whichever inner child shows up, but I'm really feeling, I'm really feeling your inner, what I'm calling your star child, your inner child that's so wise, that is healed, that has the faith to move mountains, that she knows it, or he, right? Our inner children are not any one specific gender, right? We can have female parts, male parts, androgynous parts. And so this inner child that remembers so clearly, she is the light of the world. She is the light of the world. And not in this egotistical way, not in like rubbing it in people's faces, but in this like very like, yes, I'm the light of the world and so are you. So we welcome that beautiful child energy as we move forward close to the solstice, Christmas, Hanukkah, all of these beautiful traditions that celebrate and remind us of the light that we are, to help us birth this new earth that needs to be birthed. So I want to show you my candle. Actually, no, they're saying first let's do our journey. So get very comfortable. Take some nice breaths. And as you do that, I invite you to start with that mantra. I am the light of the world. I am the light of the world. I am the light of the world. And as we connect with that intention, that remembering that we are the light of the world, and that everyone else, all the humans, and I won't even get into like animals and all of it, because of course we know that they're the light of the world too, but right now focusing on the humans, that they are all the light of the world as well. And I'm hearing right now, like that is one of the biggest blessings we can give to the world, is not only for us to remember that we are the light of the world, but to be able to look at others, even when they may seem confused, even when maybe they make us angry and maybe parts of us judge them and all sorts of things that our ego does, that we still have that prayer, right? That ongoing mantra that they are the light of the world, right? It's so as you we enter that remembering together. I see this beautiful temple, so I welcome you. I invite you to see a beautiful temple in front of you. And your temple might look different than what I describe, but it's a beautiful sacred temple. It's a temple that is safe, that is beautiful. And so I see this temple of light. It's like a temple made of clear quartz, but the clear quartz is even more clear than clear quartz. It's like this, it's almost like crystalline light. So it's this temple that's made of crystalline light. Beautiful temple. And I see this beautiful doorway. And you know, as you look at this temple, that your soul resides in this temple. Your beautiful I Am presence resides in this temple. Your beautiful star child, your beautiful eternal flame. That in that temple you can connect to Source, you can connect to the divine, to God, whatever word works for you. And as you stand before this temple, just invite the Divine Mother in all her forms. And she comes to you and brings you this blessing. And she brings you this blessing to help you receive more of yourself today. That's her blessing, so simple and so powerful. She says, you know, my daughter, my son, my child, I bless you with the ability to receive more of yourself today. So receive her blessing and step through these doors of this crystalline temple. And as you step through the doors, it's so illuminated with light. Beautiful light. Radiant light. Somehow your eyes are not burning, even though it is a light that you haven't seen before. And as you step into this, you walk to the center of the temple, you see a beautiful infinity symbol that's like engraved in the floor of this temple, and the infinity symbol is radiating light, and I see all sorts of like aquamarine and pink, and notice what colors appear on the infinity symbol for you. Notice if maybe crystals are filling the infinity symbol. Notice if there's music that's emanating from the infinity symbol. Perhaps there's light radiating out of the infinity symbol. But you notice that the infinity symbol is not static. It is organic. It is sentient. It is alive. Oh, Miriam is saying orange and yellow, beautiful. And you know that as you walk towards it, you are perfectly safe and you are ready. So all of us together, we walk to our own infinity symbol here in our temple of our I Am presence. And before sitting, I just kind of see you standing on the center point, right? The infinity point. Stand there, and actually before receiving anything, as you stand there, there's a big release. It's like this big release of anything that could get in the way of you receiving more of yourself today. You don't need to know what it is unless you do. And if you do, you will know. But I just see like from your legs down, dropping through layers of the earth as you stand on that point of the infinity symbol. And as you release, and all this light just starts to infuse your body as you sit. Then you get ready to sit on this infinity point. And you're very comfortable as you sit there. Get yourself comfortable as you sit there. And you might notice, even though you're in your own temple, you can notice all the different people, everyone who's part of this novena. And remember, that means not only the people here live, but the people who will ever watch the replay. I have so many people that'll be like, oh my gosh, I'm watching your first novena. That's like however many months later, right? They were part of that. So see through your mind's eye all the people who are sitting on their own infinity point in their own beautiful I Am temple, remembering that they are the light of the world. And so we sit on this infinity point with so much gratitude. And for a little moment here, we're going to open our eyes, if your eyes were closed, so we can light our candle, say our prayer, and get ready to sit for 9 minutes. So I was so excited to go buy my candle for today, and I love this candle. It says, as above, so below, which is the same as, as within, so without. What does that mean? That means that everything we see outside, everything we see with our physical eyes starts within. in this our ego thinks in order to change the outside world, we need to change the outside world. Our soul knows that the outside world reflects what's inside, and that if we truly want to change the external world, if we truly want to birth a new world, we need to rebirth ourselves. We need to heal what's within. So I loved it when I saw it. I was like, oh my gosh. And I love also, well, there's so much, the roots, the branches, but also the light and dark, right? Because the Divine Mother, Divine Father, Mother God, this source, it's all light, and it is also the womb, right? The dark womb from whence the light emerges. So there's both of that. So when you sit on the infinity point, I invite you to be open to both the light and the darkness of the womb. Think of a womb where a baby grows, or a womb of the soil where the seed is, we can't see anything yet, but the seed is in that dark soil. It is precious. It is needed. So we're going to light the candle, and then we're going to say, and I wish I could see your candles, but I can feel their energy. And if you happen to be watching this and you don't have your candle yet, that is okay. There's the candle. And we're going to do, and if this is your first time, I send out the prayer, the invocation through my newsletter. So you can just sign up for my newsletter and you'll receive it. And so for now, if you're watching and you don't have it, that's okay. You can just hear me say it. So remember, we're sitting on the infinity point. We have our candle lit. And together we say, as this candle burns, my soul within me burns. As this wax melts, resistance in me melts. 9 days to clear lifetimes of fear. As I give, I receive. As I heal, I am healed. Doors open, I walk through. I am ready for the new. Abundance comes with ease and grace, for I have finally found my place. Right? So we say that. I'm going to put the candle down. And I'm going to start the timer. All right, and you know what this is saying? It's got low battery, so I'm going to start the timer on here because I don't want to be worried about it while my eyes are closed. So I'm going to start it, and there we go. All right, let's begin, everyone. See you on the other side. So take some nice breaths. Before we step out of this space, just invite all of us to visualize a beautiful purple flame. It's like this beautiful, purple flame of light. And everything that was released, whether you know what it is or not, I just felt so much was being released from everyone here live, everyone who will ever watch the replay, who's watching the replay now. We just toss it. We just know that it's there. It goes into this flame and it is being transmuted, dissolved, back to the light. So we're just sending it. Our soul, the divine, is in charge of that. And then taking some nice breaths. I'm going to burn some sage as you take some nice stretches. That went really fast for me. Sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes it's like every second to go slow, but that was for me. And I meant to say this before we started, to really honor whatever your process is, whether it flies by, whether the whole time your thoughts are all over the place, whatever it is perfect, and the healing, the miracles happen. So there's no judgment on your experience. So burning some sage, lots of smoke. Good. So just imagine I'm there, hovering this over the crown of your head, in front of your heart. I felt a lot being released from throat chakras, from the throat center. So like old ways that you've stifled your truth, or I don't know, it's just like this long, like a long rope of things being pulled out. So release. And of course, whatever by your feet, I'm saging to help ground you. And I'm just going to pull 2 cards and then we'll be done. If there's anything you want to share from your experience, feel free to write it, share it there. Love to hear your experience. You're welcome, Jill. I'm so glad you're here. So first card is from the surrender deck. So let's see what your soul is guiding you to surrender or surrender into. Surrender to setting limits. It is healthy to set boundaries in relationships. Practice expressing your needs. And remember that no is a complete sentence. This is what this card says, okay? And it's this woman, and she's got her hand like this. So it's the sacred no. The sacred no. There's a sacred yes, but there's also a sacred no. Receiving self-compassion. So beautiful, Jill. Yes. So the sacred no is what she's doing here, right? Is setting that boundary. So wherever that is in your life, it might be with someone in your life, a loved one, a coworker, or it might be with your own self, like setting boundaries with the parts of you that can judge you, or that can maybe are holding a lot of pain. But how do we lovingly set a boundary? You're not dismissing them or exiling them, but you're lovingly setting a boundary so that you can connect with your soul and love that part of you from that space. But there is something about that no is a complete sentence, so whatever that means for you. And the other card's going to be from the Gateway Oracle. I really felt like the presence of Ascended Master Jesus, like his heart just kind of whole. He's so wise, right? And again, when I bring up Jesus, I'm not referring to whatever doctrine or dogma has been associated with him. I'm really referring to the Ascended Master that he was, that wise being, and which is why I love that statue of Jesus that I have where he's meditating. I love meditating with that statue because I feel like it makes my inner journey easier and more powerful. So let's see. This is from the Gateway Oracle. And he is all about self-compassion. So perfect. Look at this. And I might read the book with this. Revealing radiance. My light illuminates the world. I mean, How perfect is that for a novena about being the light of the world? And it's a pearl. Look at that. Look at how beautiful. I don't know why I'm being guided to read a little bit of what this says, but I will. And then we will be done. So let me see. Revealing radiance. It says, there is a luminosity, I love that word, luminosity within you that's expanding. It illuminates others and brings light to the darkness. Your radiance also acts as a sacred beacon that calls the bounty and support of the universe to you. So one of the reasons I love this deck, this is, I should have said, Gateway Oracle by Denise Lynn. She has questions at the end. So I'm going to put, hey Lorenza, I'm going to read to you the prompts at the end. Perhaps they will be helpful for you. 1, how can I shine even more brightly? These are great questions to ask your soul. How can I shine even more brightly? Who helps me shine? And who dims my light? You know, who dims our light? The people we're supposed to set no to and set those boundaries to. So kind of be with that, right? Who helps me shine? Who dims my light? What do I need to clear out of my life so I can shine even brighter? Okay, homework, reflect on all these questions, you know. So again, how can I shine even more brightly? Who helps me shine and who dims my light? And 3, what do I need to clear out of my life so I can shine even brighter? Yes, we are radiant, Jan. You're right. All right, thank you, everyone. This went a little longer than I thought it was going to go, but so I will see you tomorrow. I will finish drinking my tea. One of the days, I think I might have some Mexican hot chocolate with dairy-free milk, of course. All right, bye, everyone. See you tomorrow at 7. And if you can't be here live, you can watch the replay. The recording will be here on Facebook, and it'll eventually be on my website and on my YouTube channel. That might take a little longer. All right, bye. Good night, everyone. Sleep well. And yes, I slept better last night, and I'm praying, setting that intention that I sleep really good tonight too. All right, bye, everyone. See ya. Thank you, everyone.